Welcome to Toffee Blue View, your source for all things Everton. I'm Gerry, always am. Today we're joined, Terry and Max as usual, but we have a guest. Oh my gosh, we have a guest on the show who has not appeared with us before. It's Dave from the Falcon Blues YouTube channel.
How's it going, fellas?
You all right?
Arsenal reaction. Pretty damn nice little performance that made my Sunday. I'll tell you that right now. We're gonna lead with Dave here because he is the guest. Terry, you're a regular now. You can't go first all the time anymore. All right, but Dave is the guest. We're gonna lead with him, and just I wanted to save this for the video because I felt like the YouTube audience needed to know this. Earlier, we were having some issues with our sound. We had a little echo. We thought it was on Dave's end, and Dave proceeded. He had a nice little clip-on mic, two-way, two mics, and to try to solve the problem. This is the kind of guy he is. He took a pair of scissors and just clipped the cord, clipped the cable just in half in the hopes that it would solve the problem. It didn't solve the problem, though. And it turns out we just had to fiddle around with headphones and whatnot. But that's the kind of guy he is. He's just taking matters into his own hands. So I wanted to make sure everybody out there knew that because it's just a damn fine story. It made me smile.
Because Dave's an idiot, basically, and he's just ruined a perfectly good USB and microphone. So,
But good,
because I love my art.
Good intentions, So, Dave, let's... I think right now everybody looks at the performance and they say, wow, everybody played well. Can you talk about who your personal most important player was yesterday, and then just kind of ramble off wherever you want to go?
I think for me, obviously, man of the match was Calvert-Lewin, but for me, I think Gerry. I think he's probably still running.
Yeah.
If you look outside, he's probably still running somewhere. The lad just did not stop. He was breaking up possession in the 18-yard box. He was bombing forward. Between him and Gomez, the ground that they made up and the working together was just unreal. That for me yesterday was summed up what we want to see as Evertonians with this Everton side. We've struggled with the second half at Newcastle. We had a piss poor first half against Chelsea, but there was always signs that something is there in this team that can once it clicks, it's going to click well, and we're going to give someone an absolute thumping. And yesterday, we could have won that at a canter if we, it's still early doors for Everton. You've got to look at that. But I think we could have won that easily had we had a proper striker in, 3 or 4 goals in before half time. But for me, Gomez and Gerry just typified Everton for me, what you wanted to see. Plenty of endeavour, loads of passing, plenty, and just being niggly and wanting to put a foot in, wanting to be snide, and that's what I love about Everton. I want to snide Everton. Yeah. I want a team that is willing to go and have a go at the referee, leave a boot in, and get the crowd going. And that is that was typified yesterday. I think we did it with aplomb. I thought we were excellent. There's too many plaudits for the way we played yesterday. Or not enough, rather.
Yeah, I think yesterday was another really good example of, this press that Everton are starting to employ is becoming this defining characteristic of our squad. Watching us yesterday, Arsenal couldn't string passes together because every time they got anywhere like near the center, one of our guys was either pressuring them to make a bad pass or niggling and sitting there just knocking the ball away. Gay and Gomez were on everyone. It was, I don't know, it's funny when you look at that spine through the center, DCL, Sigurdsson, Gomez, and Gay, the pressing that you see them do, pressing those passing lanes like that and then just converging, it's been nice. Terry, You can comment on what we were talking about just then, or you can talk about your most important player. And by the way, by the time it gets to me, there's going to be all my answers going to be gone, I'm sure. But go ahead, Terry.
Well, I just back up everything that Dave said as well. Just, Garner and Gomez just ran the show. But for me, the best player on the pitch, even including DCL, just for me personally, was Bernard. What a little player he is. He was unplayable for that. That Maitland-Niles didn't sleep last night because he was scared that Bernard was going to run at him with the ball again. He was absolutely brilliant. We're starting to see some of the best, some of the real best football of the season now, and he's been central to it all. Bernard, he got man of the match against West Ham. He was great against, I think it was Cardiff. He was good in that game as well. But some of the flicks and tricks and skills that were coming out yesterday, that little back heel sort of through ball that Gomez got into.
Yeah.
It's get off your seat stuff. It was absolutely brilliant. And there's like a gif going round of when he's got the ball and he's just fighting 2 or 3 markers at different points and retains possession. He's only small and he just couldn't be muscled off the ball. He's absolutely fucking brilliant. Bernard, we're starting to really see it now. Took a while to get going. He's been in and out of the team. He wasn't particularly playing poorly, but he wasn't having a massive impact on statistics. He wasn't getting assists or goals. It was he was still figuring out the league, and he was coming off a long spell out from Shakhtar. So it's taken him a while to get up to speed. But if this is his level, then what a little player we found there. Just that left hand side at the minute. I think Dean and Bernard have got that boxed off for a while because the two of them together, Arsenal could not live with them. Absolutely, I gave them a torrid time down the left.
Bernard, I think that was a huge talking point after that one. He's just, the funny thing is he signed for free, but was actually with that huge signing on fee and with his weekly pay being what it is. He's actually a pretty expensive player. Honestly, worth it. Totally worth it. And one of the more fun players to watch right now. He's creating from the wing. And again, when we first signed him, I didn't have a lot of experience with him a player. I'd only seen a lot of, and I was thinking, okay, he's probably going to end up in the center for us because he seemed like one of those central creative little players. And now it's like I don't want to see him anywhere else. I want him wherever he wants to play and keep him there. Really.
You might have been supporting Shakhtar though when you lost him for free. I know they absolutely took the piss and got that money for Fred, but imagine losing Bernard and he didn't get a penny. We're paying a lot, but we're paying it all to Bernard. We didn't pay anything to Shakhtar. You'd be absolutely sick if you lost a player that good for free, wouldn't you?
But Shakhtar tend to reload with Brazilians pretty quickly. They have a lot of them. So, Max, you've been so patient, like the gentleman you are. So, what are you thinking about your most important player on the pitch? By the way, my answer's not taken yet. Fingers crossed. Max, are you gonna break my heart here?
Well, my answer's been taken. I was initially gonna say Bernard, like you mentioned, that is cutting as a passing lanes. From a left winger, it was absolutely fantastic. That no-look back heel pass was just a piss take, and putting Maitland-Niles on his ass was, a sight to behold. Funnily enough, I seen it come up on Twitter, the official Everton account, Premier League, whatnot, saying it was 5 years ago to the day when we beat Arsenal at home 3-0, when we were in Martinez's first season in the pursuit of the Champions League. I don't quite think that performance on Sunday was to that level or to that standard. I largely think that was down to, just not converting the chances that we had. But to pick my man of the match, if I can't say Bernard, I'm going to have to say Phil Jagielka. To not initially even be in the starting 11.
You've taken it.
Have you? Oh,
you broke my heart.
You have.
Oh, I'm sorry, Gerry.
No, hey, there's 3 people going on here, man. If my answer was of any credit at all, it's probably going to be taken. You know what I mean?
No, I thought that's just, that epitomises being dependable. That epitomises being captain of a football club to step in, score your first goal in 2 years, 10 minutes in, get that early goal, give us the world of confidence. It was absolutely fantastic. And we'd only really seen him after that 17-day break where he came in for the Cardiff game, and other than that, he hasn't been a regular. So to contend with the players of the technical ability such as Ozil, Mkhitaryan, Lacazette, and in that second half, Aaron Ramsey and Aubameyang, and to slot in alongside Zuma as he did, to cover Coleman on the right-hand side too. It was absolutely fantastic. And, to credit Idrissa Gueye as well, to kind of come full circle, I think because Phil Jagielka had to slot in so last minute, I think Gueye was on his toes defensively a lot more and had to cover and drop deep. As a consequence of that, I think it allowed Andre Gomez a lot more freedom pressing forward, and I think that's why we've seen such a dominant midfield for dominant performance in the midfield.
With you mentioning Jagielka, I'm just thinking there, it was good to see because when you looked at social media, it was like, oh fuck, Jags is back in. Jags looks massive. It's like for him to just come in, play as well as he did, and to stick those comments down people's throats for me is captain. That was just spot on. I was really proud of Jagielka yesterday, and he should be proud of himself. He might not get all the games, but when he does, he's come in and he does a job, and that's what he's paid to do. That's what he's always done for the last 12 years that he's been at Everton. He's made himself, indispensable to the club. You look at it and you go, well, how long has he got left in his career? Maybe 2-3 years max, if that. And then you go, but he can fill in the gaps. We didn't have Mina, we didn't have Keane, we didn't have Mason Holgate as well, who's on loan. So for Jagielka to step in 10 minutes before kickoff, full credit to him.
It's something that I'm noticing with these veterans. We actually have some quality veterans. Leighton Baines, someone goes down, Leighton Baines slots in, and he's great. And we don't really take much of a step back. We actually have some veterans of character. And that's an absolute professional. And it's realigned my perception on having veterans in the team, to be honest with you. Maybe it's not a week in, week out thing where you want to rely on them every game, but if they're cool with slotting in every once in a while when you need them, you can't beat it. I was doubtful. I'll go ahead and tell you. Before the game, they were warming up, and my 6-year-old goes, "Hey, Dad, why are those men talking to Keane?" And it was the trainers. They were out there on the field talking to Keane. And I was just like, he's probably got a little knock. No big deal. Well, my 6-year-old had better intuition on this than I did. Because I went to go grab some coffee. I come back and my wife goes, Jagielka's in for Kane. And I was like, what? And I was a jerk. I was doubtful. I didn't put it on social media because I'm one of those who usually likes to see things out. You know what I mean? Wait, a little bit. But full credit to that guy. That's probably, to me, why he was, because of my expectations were lower than I guess they should have been. Max, you got something, I'm sure.
Funnily enough, I didn't even know he'd come in. I didn't know he was starting until the moment he came out the tunnel. Like I'd rushed the game because I was a bit hungover from the national. And I see Dave got one of the kits on there. Like I very rarely wear Everton kits now or Everton tops. Like, but I thought, because I was hanging a little bit, just throw an old top on. Threw on the 09-10. He's the 84-85 replica, the Lecoq Sportif. Funnily enough, guess who I've got on the back of that shirt? Jagielka.
And you didn't put a bet on?
No.
You already got in late, so yeah, you wouldn't have known.
Yeah, he was some bets with that goal, didn't he? He absolutely just some bets with that because no one backed Jagielka first goal scorer. They've saved the bookies thousands with that goal.
I know. Gutted. I should have sensed it, really, shouldn't I?
I don't know how you could have. That'd have been amazing, Max. I think if you're watching, our weakest moment of the match was after halftime. They had made some changes. They had adjusted formation, and they actually had more of the ball for a little stretch. And I was worried. I was sitting there thinking, well, honestly, I don't want Silva to make a lot of changes right now. You know what I mean? Based on what we had on the bench, I was thinking a lot of those changes would be better for later. And I was secretly glad. I was like, okay, he's going to write it out. And you know what? I love the fact that they adapted, and all of a sudden they decided, you know what, we're going to go ahead and throw this press back on, and just started dominating. It didn't really matter what formation they were in. You know, it didn't matter that they had Aubameyang's a player. Okay, he is a player. Didn't matter. Pickford was really close to having a day off on this one. It was just impressive the way we kept everything away from the goal mouth. You know, I will say that Mkhitaryan shot was a little close for my taste. Got me a little nervous.
It was a top defensive performance, wasn't it? You know, you've got to give full credit to the defensive formation, and as I said, they are. I know something that I found common across all the Champions League contenders this season. They have been very inconsistent, but they still have that technical quality to damage it, and the way we nullified that was absolutely fantastic.
So we definitely did. You look at the stats: 7 shots on goal, 2 on target.
Yeah, we haven't even mentioned how many shots we've had yet. 23. Yeah. 23. It was reminiscent of that West Ham performance, and like Gerry said there, up until I say half time, the first half, the possession was more neck and neck, and it was like that in the performance. It wasn't until that second half when Emery's decided to throw Ramsey on, to throw Aubameyang on, who, by the way, have solid return figures in terms of goals and assists against Everton, so you can understand why he's tried to do that. But that was only when the possession started becoming unbalanced, and the only criticism of us you'd really have is we just got to start becoming more clinical.
I mean, if Sigurdsson put his boots on the right feet, like I'm sure he had his left on his right and his right on his left, because he had about 7 shots. In fact, yes, Sigurdsson had 7 shots, as much as Arsenal's whole team had, and every one of them missed. He just couldn't get it. He couldn't release a shot onto the goal properly. But 23 shots at goal against Arsenal, suck that, Sam Allardyce. I'm sorry, but
exactly, exactly.
He'll be quiet for a couple of weeks now. Can't play that way against Arsenal. You've got to bore them out. But tell you what, though, credit as well. Max touched on in the defensive display. Credit to Luca Dean, because he took a knock in the warm up as well, and then got kicked everywhere. He got
stomped on his ankle by Guendouzi. It just,
he should have been off. He should have been sent off, because it was high and it was studs up and it was dangerous. Just because he doesn't leave his feet doesn't mean it's not dangerous. And he took the knock, and then he got kicked all game, and he just battled through and kept the clean sheets. Luca Dean, I'm running out of superlatives for him this season.
I remember when we were first going to sign him, one of the things that I read about him, which I found was odd, I don't know why, but it's just I don't associate it with an outside back. Great in the air, really great with his head, and that's something it is stuck with me. And just because it was an unusual characteristic, I just didn't expect it. You know what he is? Those balls come across, and he's usually dominant in getting it out, far post.
Deals with it.
He deals with it every time, man. Yeah. It's really impressive, and it's a trait I've never appreciated in an outside back before.
Another unusual trait that he's got that I feel like we've got to give full credit to, the ability to throw that ball that far.
But he stepped over the line.
What is with that, by the way? I mean, his foot is clearly touching the line. I'm trying to figure out why people are saying it's a foul throw. The NBC commentators say they contacted some group and they said it was a foul throw. And I'm like, but his foot's touching the rule. Look at the rule. How are people saying?
Yeah, I think what they tried to do is look at it like basketball. So if your foot's on the side on the line, then it's ball out. I think that's what they're trying to say. It's that kind of foul, but it's like, well, hang on, it's not basketball. Obviously they're trying to make it a non-contact sport as it is. But as he takes the throw though, his foot comes back onto the white line. It's not like it goes over, but he pulls it back before the release. So there's nothing wrong with it, and as long as you keep it on the line anyway, there's no foul. If they're over it, of course, then it's a foul throw, because then you're on the pitch. But if you're not on the pitch, so it's fine. It's just that I think they just ran out of they needed an excuse because of piss poor defending, and they had nothing else.
We'll call it even for that offside goal they scored at the Emirates.
Which one's worse?
The cheekiest to know.
I know.
2 players offside and a goal. It's just like, his toes over the line on a throw in. Okay, that's the same.
Yeah, just
It's
to
the
make
whole
my
ball
point.
over the quadrant thing again, isn't it? Loads of shite.
Yeah, I know. Rule books aside, just to make me point, how great is it that we're actually a threat from set pieces again? With that Zuma corner from West Ham the other week, and now this. And I include throw-ins in that. It's great to see.
His throw-ins are like corners. That like, distance on it. That throw-in he in that position is as
I
good
feel
as
like
a
you
corner,
have to almost treat it. I feel like you have to treat it like a corner. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, the centre halves went up for it, so they'd most definitely been practicing it.
Yeah. Either that or Jagielka had run all that way and just burned out and couldn't get back. So.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's nice to laugh after games and not at ourselves. That's very fresh.
Yeah.
It makes a change, doesn't it? Definitely.
Yeah. Hey, credit to Jordan Pickford too. Five clean sheets in our last 6. That's
you know what? I'm going to say this guy too, because I think we thought for a little while there he needed a big rest. Seamus Coleman.
Yeah.
Been impressed.
I'm Richarlison. Richarlison on the
yeah.
right.
Richarlison as well, yeah. But I've been impressed with Vince punching over the last couple of weeks.
Ha ha ha! You were so witty, Terry. There you go. There you go, Ben. That's my real reaction whenever people say funny things, like Thursday Night Neymar. All right, so, all right, so guys, good things. I mean,
Can I add
is there
one
somebody
thing
else that
to
started that we didn't
viewers?
compliment?
No. Something that I didn't find out about it on Twitter after the game, and I didn't get a reply. Right? When was the last time? I know we've got the chance to make it 4 on the bounce if we beat Fulham, but when was the last time Everton beat London opposition back to back to back? I want to find that out. I asked someone at the Echo, and they didn't know, so I just want to put that out to the audience to see if they know.
Yeah. Someone will know. Yeah,
Someone
put in the comments or put it
on
Twitter for us. You see our Twitter handles there. Comments are there. We'd appreciate real answers and also jokey, funny ones. Those are always welcome. Just saying. But Max Rollins a real one. All right. So, anything else on this, gents? Feeling good?
I think even watching Match of the Day yesterday, and we were the first game, we were the only game, but it was good to see. They were talking to Calvert-Lewin after the game, and with Ian Wright. Even Ian Wright was like, Arsenal were shit, but Everton were. The reason why is because Everton was so good, and that makes a change rather than saying like West Ham were just shit. That's all he was saying. West Ham were poor. This was a poor West Ham side. We know West Ham are poor. Everton was that good. The same with the second half against Chelsea. Chelsea were poor. Yeah, no, Everton were better. That's I think yesterday proved something there that we realise Everton actually are good and are capable of doing this, and it's not the teams above us having poor performances. And to see that was a breath of fresh air.
Yeah, I think it's going to take us a little while to get out of this media narrative that we depend on shit performances from the opposition to actually play well. Maybe if we keep winning and actually keep putting up good performances, they'll start noticing. And it does seem like, I know the NBC the commentators for the NBC Sports were awful. They did nothing but I saw multiple people from around America saying, "Wow, these NBC guys hate Everton," and they just the narrative was all foul throw in and all that kind of stuff. It was pretty agitating, but it's just one of those things. I think it's just going to take a little bit, to actually dig out of that kind of hole that we're in right now with the media. It's shitty, but it's the reality, and I hate being patient, but we're gonna have to. I noticed the same thing, man, and it's pretty infuriating. But yeah, we can't really do anything about it except for put out our own content. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
yep,
exactly. And just like we're doing,
this is the best we can do, right? All right. So anyway, that is it for our Arsenal reaction. We could probably talk for another couple hours. I usually wear the same. If we're winning, I wear the same shirt. So I've been wearing the shirt from last season, the one that's not the most attractive thing. I've been wearing it ever since our last, ever since we've been winning. It's getting funky, and I don't care. That's what I'm saying. Don't care. Not washing it. Don't care.
So you don't have to wear it every day, you know.
All right. So that's it for our Arsenal reaction. We sincerely appreciate it. If you've been digging our videos, please subscribe to the Toffee Blues YouTube channel. If you want more Dave is on the Falcon Blues YouTube channel. Check him out there with Paul. They've got a lot of really good interviews on there. But they also do match analysis. They've got a lot of stuff on there. You really need to check it out. It's a really chill vibe. Honestly, it's a good thing. Pour yourself a beer and watch, because they're usually doing that themselves, you know? If you want more Terry, Liverpool Echo fan Gerry, he puts his stuff on there frequently, so check out his Twitter. You'll see some sassy Simpsons memes and stuff on there, but he'll also tell you when you can see his wonderful Everton words. Max drops his knowledge all over the place as well, but frequently he's on the Toffee Blues website, so check him out there. Look at his Twitter. And again, don't forget his question. When's the last time Everton beat London opposition back to back to back? Ad infinitum. All right, so yeah, there's that. And yeah, I have no more plugging. Now that we've got 3 on here and all you guys have stuff out there, it's like I got to plug, so much plugging, and this is what I have to plug myself for. So hey, all right, now DCL, we're talking about it next. Stay tuned. Bye.